Hello everyone, this is Sue. I just wanted to come on today and finish up this project with all of you. So you haven't seen this before because I did it this morning. I was just kind of here in my craft room listening to and watching kind of YouTube videos, and I ended up making another pouch which we're gonna do a little bit of work on. So let me kind of tell you what I did. So first of all, I just took 3 fabric scraps and I sewed them together. So these are 3 different pieces, hence why this one is shorter than the other 2. And I knew that when I did it, but I'm like, you know what? I'm cool with that. So then what I did was I went and I just kind of searched through. I'm trying to grab something here. My little bin with just all my like little fabric scraps. And I was looking for autumn type colors. Just because I love autumn and I love like all of the like mustard yellows and the burnt oranges and all that amazing stuff. Not that that's what this is, but that's what I do love. So I'm starting to get into the whole fall thing, which will be here before we know it, right? So today is November 12th. Did I already say that? Or not November, September. September 12th. And I'm thinking I'll probably put this video live or post it tomorrow. But anyway, so I just kind of sewed on the little pieces as I went along. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to make it where I pull these together on the back, and I'm going to sew it down the middle in the back when I get to that point. So this is what it's going to look like. Oh, and I have black on me. My fingers are going to look black because, well, they are, and I'll explain that in a minute. I'm not dirty. It's just the way my fingers are full of ink at the moment. And I did wash, but so sorry about that. So I think I'm going to include this here. So I stamped this Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz collection, this stamp right here with the Distress Archival ink. I stamped it onto a piece of fabric. And oh my gosh, I had no idea that that was there. That's really bad. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. But anyway, so then I'm like, yeah, so I thought that this would be like maybe a good spot. I have, so like the, this doily and this doily and these things here, the yo-yos, are not sewn on. So I think that's what I'm going to focus on right now with all of you. This trim on the bottom is also not sewn on at the moment. And this trim I got in the clearance section at Hobby Lobby for 87 cents. So I'm happy with that, and I love the way it looks on here. So let's get sewing. So I do have my little bag here where I keep my my needle book and other things, because I use this all the time because I've been doing a lot of stitching in my living room on my favorite chair. And yeah, so anyway, so let's kind of look through here. So I'm gonna look and see what threads we have ready to roll, and I'm just gonna use them. So I think the first thing that I will sew down is this doily right here. And yeah, and then we'll just move from piece to piece to piece. So it was great fun as usual to use scraps, right? To use, I mean, literally scraps just sitting in a bin and digging through. I mean, I haven't dug through that bin that deep down in a long time. It's like I basically had it empty. And yeah, so I had fabric everywhere. I was in my happy place for sure. And yeah, so I just looked through to see what was in there that I could use. And then I know I'm covering a bunch of it up, but that's okay. I mean, like I can still see the fabrics through this. Right here I can't, but that's okay. That's all right. That's like what happens when we do collage in mixed media, right? You can't see. Well, you can kind of see like the very bottom layer, but barely. Well, that's what this is. Same thing. Same thing. All right, so now I have to figure out what I'm going to do down here. So I guess what I'll do, because when I sew these down, it's going to sew this down more. So right now I have my thread right here. So I think I'm going to come up like somehow here and just add a few more stitches this way, just to hold it down nicely for me. Yep, and as far as, so if you watched my last video, which was on Thursday, I'm pretty sure that that was the video where I mentioned I fell in my driveway on Sunday, this past Sunday. And I'm doing much better. My thumb, I still have a Band-Aid on it because it looks nasty. The other areas where I guess I still hurt the most are my one knee and my chest. And yeah, but I'm feeling much better. So every day I get a little bit better, and that's good. That's good. And then yesterday, it's like, oh my gosh, this has just been a rough week. Can I just say that? It's been a very rough week. And I'm actually going to a wake tonight for my friend's 33-year-old daughter who passed away of cancer on Monday. So, yeah, it's just been not a fun week. And yeah, and then yesterday I'm out in my garden. I'm looking at the stem of my butternut squash because, well, you harvest butternut squash when the stem turns brown. And I knew it was in the process of turning brown. It's probably halfway there. But I check it often. And you know what I'm noticing at this time of the year in my garden is, let me think what I'm going to do next here. I have more white thread on here, so I think I'll just switch to that one for now. And so what I'm noticing in my garden in at this time of the year, where I mean it's fall here. I mean it just is. You know, the where did I leave off? So I went over there. Okay, let me come down here a little bit. I mean, the leaves are falling. And, you know, the cool weather and all of that. And what I'm noticing in my garden, and if you have a garden as well, let me know if you're noticing this. And it is that there are a lot of wasps and yellow jackets and all that kind of stuff around. And so yesterday I'm looking at my butternut squash and there's kind of like leaves covering it, right? And so I'm moving the leaves, I'm just pushing them like this, with my one hand so I could see the stem of the butternut squash. And wouldn't you know it, um, yeah, there was this humongous black, I want to say it looked like a hornet or a wasp to me, but it was huge and it was black. Like most times, to me, they're usually brown and not this large. This thing was a monster, and it stung me. And it stung me. You can see where it stung me right here. So it hurt. I screamed. It hurt. Then, of course, I'm swelling up like right here immediately. Then my whole hand starts swelling. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I reach out to my church people, and I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, oh, of course everybody started, praying and everything. And my woman's pastor, she's like, oh, you know what? I looked it up. You're supposed to put ice on it. So you know what I did? So I immediately went into my freezer. And I don't really have ice. I don't really use ice. So what I did have in my freezer was a bag of frozen cherry tomatoes. I'm like, oh my gosh. So here I am with a bag of frozen cherry tomatoes on my hand, but it worked. It definitely worked. And yeah, I had it there for a while. I mean, the stinging, when I went to bed last night, it was still stinging, but the swelling was down, which made a difference, because that made me nervous. Sometimes you don't know if you're going to be like allergic to something or not. And I've never been allergic to bees before, but I mean, there's things I can't eat now that I could eat my whole life, and now all of a sudden I can't. So, like, you change, right? As you get older, right? And I'm trying to see where I sewed and where I didn't sew. All right, so but that I'll grab there. So I'm going to hop over here. Yeah, so I was glad when the swelling started going down, because it was almost all immediate, the swelling, and the pain was like really not fun. But anyway, so then that happened yesterday, and of course yesterday was 9/11, and that's upsetting in itself. And then I have the wake tonight from my friend's 33-year-old daughter. It's like, I just want the week over with. So I think that's why I wanted to really come on as well and do a video and just kind of be with you all and just kind of, I don't know, I guess talk it all out. And, that helps. It definitely helps to talk it out. And, yeah. So anyway, so that's the scoop. Not to be a total downer, but that's life, right? That is part of life. And yeah, so okay, so wait a minute, I think I just lost a pin. Did I put it in here? I don't know, but I have more white thread on a needle right here. Why I have 3 needles in here, all with the same thread, I don't know. Who knows? But I do. Oh, here it is, right here. You guys are probably like, it's there in front of you. There it is. I'll put that away. You know what I want to learn someday? You know how some people, I don't know if you've ever seen this. If you watch stitching videos with people that really know how to stitch, you know how they knot the end of their thread by like twirling it around the needle and then pulling. I don't understand how to do that. I need somebody to just take, I don't know, 30 seconds to explain it slowly so that I can follow along. Because people do it so fast and I'm like trying to understand what it is that they're doing and they just go so fast. They just go so fast. Okay, so that's all down. And that's down. So now I just have like this little part right here. So what else is new? I had a really nice thing on Wednesday this week. My cousin and his wife are here. Now I live in New Jersey, from California. And so I had them over on Wednesday for lunch. They were here, I don't know, they came around 11:30 and left, I think, at 3. But I also had my mother here. So, so my mother's 93, and she just loves her family. She loves to be around them, and being able to talk to them one-on-one, just kind of, yeah, I don't know how else to say that. But so what I did was I picked my mother up in the morning, Wednesday morning, and I had brought up a bunch of old documents, like of my grandparents, because I bought my grandparents' house, and some documents were here, and some I kind of inherited when my parents moved out of their house in 2020. And yeah, so I'm like the keeper of the documents and pictures. And so anyways, I mean, since Jack is he's my first cousin, so I mean, we have the same grandparents, right? So my mother is his aunt, and his father was my uncle. And so anyways, it was really great. So like earlier in the week, I went downstairs and I'm searching through the photo albums and boxes of stuff. And because I have obviously some stuff from my father's side of the family, which, that's not Jack's family. Jack's family is my mother's side of the family. So anyways, I didn't want to bring that stuff up because it wouldn't really, mean anything to them, him and his wife, Mary. And so it was just nice. So we literally, and my other cousin, so I don't know if you know this, I've said this many times in my videos. So I bought my grandparents' house and my aunt lived here. She had never married. But next to me, I have a first cousin and his wife. That was the house that my mother was born in. Then on this side of me, the house on the right side of me is also cousins, and across the street is cousins. So yeah, so across the street was actually the sister of my grandma who lived in the house I'm in right now. So anyway, yeah, so my cousin, even from next door, him and his wife came over and we had lunch together, but then they had to leave. So they left they came over at 11:30. All my cousins did. And well, my two cousins and their wives. but at like 1 o'clock, my one cousin and his wife had to leave. So it was just wonderful. We just spent, you know, 2.5 hours looking through documents and photos. It was really wonderful, I must say. It was really great. All right. I think what I'm going to sew next is I'll sew this doily down. So my mother totally enjoyed herself, and yeah, so it was a really good day. Early on Wednesday, yeah. So that was fun. And what did I do? Oh, yesterday I was working on my my stitching for my big needle book, and so I had to do a little bit of catch up on it before I make the next video. So like I had to like sew the rest of the cover on. I had to, what did I do? Oh, I sewed some, like all the inside, like so the outside of the cover, I don't want to show you because I'll show it to you in the video that'll come out in like just over a week. So the front cover is done, and when you turn it over, the inside of the cover is done. So as I was doing that, that was, I want to say it was yesterday. Yeah, it was. It was yesterday. I was watching Railway Cottage. What is her name? Is it Pam? Is it Karen? Oh my gosh. I should write that down. I'm sorry. I forget her name. But she does beautiful slow stitch. Like messy. Like, in fact, the comment I gave to her, because I watched a bunch of her videos, because like I said, I was in the zone working on my own slow stitching. And so I just kind of had her on and, you know, watching and not watching, you know how it is. I'm sure you all do that as well. And in fact, one of her videos, I was like, you know, because what she does is she'll, like, she was working on the pages for a journal in this particular video. And, she would just barely measure it, like barely measure anything. And she would, you know, do a little snip of the fabric where she wanted it cut. And I think I'm gonna come over here and, no, I'm gonna knot it off because I want darker thread there. And so she snips and tears, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so me, because like she doesn't measure. she just snips and tears, and if it doesn't come out even, so what, you know. And so that kind of actually reminds me of this, because you can, even looking at it this way, you can see how much shorter it gets over here. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know, I'll fix it or I won't fix it. Either way, right? It's fine. It's fine. No big deal. Okay, so now I think I'm going to go with a little bit darker thread. So let me see which one will work better. I think I'll go with the darker of the two. Let's grab a needle. So when I have my bigger needle book done, how am I going to use it? because I'm loving this little one. It stays in my bag. Well, I guess the big needle book I would leave here on my desk, because I don't have to have that bag on my desk, because I actually keep the bag elsewhere. And I pulled it out, excuse me, because I knew I was going to need my needle book. So that, I guess that makes sense. So as I'm talking it through with all of you, I will keep the little needle book in in the bag, in this, and excuse me, and then I can keep the bigger needle book here. The bigger needle book is actually probably right about this same size, close. So it's a good amount bigger than the small one. But boy, is it beautiful. Wait until you see. So, no, wait. So if today is Saturday, so if this video goes out on Saturday, which I'm planning for it to, on Monday, so 2 days from when this video gets posted, is the first video for my larger needle book. So come back Monday and watch that video. And then the following Monday is the second video for that. And it's beautiful. I mean, you know, I'm not meaning to sound conceited or like I did anything great, but it really is pretty. You know? So I'm excited about it. And I've started calling my Monday videos Crafty Chit Chat and Slow Stitching, which I used to do. I don't know, I probably did 1.5 years. Excuse me. I don't have any water here. I probably did 1.5 years of Crafty Chit Chat and Slow Stitching videos. And then I kind of went off. Like every once in a while, I take a break from YouTube and social media. I mean, I just do. I guess I just need it. I don't know. And yeah, but now I'm back and I love it. I love stitching. Love, love, love. Come on. So, oops. Oopsie daisy. So, as far as my garden, I have to remember at this time of the year to wear gardening gloves, because I've seen other, like I said, yellow jackets or whatever out there on leaves. This was just the first time one was really hidden and I didn't know it was there. So I think I've learned my lesson to make sure that I wear gloves, because I very seldom wear gloves when I'm gardening. All right, so I think for this video, I'm just going to stitch this on this other little doily, which I'm basically done with. And let me see how long I'm at right now. Let me just do one more little stitch here. And that might be it. And then I'll finish this off camera because I still have to sew the yo-yos on. I have to, let me knot this, and I have to sew the bottom trim on, and then I have to sew the back of it together. Oh, and the bottom of it together. So I have a good amount left, but it does go rather quickly. It does. All right, so all this is sewn. So all that's left to sew is this and these 3 here. So 4 yo-yos, and then this girl right here. And then I'll bring these together back here. And I'm going to, well, I have to sew the trim. Then I'm just going to sew up here. Then I can decide how much this bothers me, that how much shorter that is, because I can let me see if I can just grab something. This isn't what I would use, but just as an example, I could put a piece of a lace around the top, and then it gets rid of that. It would have to be wider than this, but you know what I mean. And but you know what? This is mine. So, like, maybe I like that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I mean, this is all choppy. Like, I don't mind. I think I kind of like it the way it is. What do you guys think? Do you think I should try to cover that up or not? I mean, I did it on purpose. I knew it looked like that. So, it must not bother me all that much. I don't know. Let me see. So, I'm at 31. Okay, so I'm going to probably hop off now. I'll just mention one more thing. So I have this little stack of, or this little pile of threads from previous projects, but I think I'm going to like at least pull this green out and sew these down, and maybe this brown to sew the yellow yo-yo, and I don't know what for this yo-yo over here. But just so I can start using these things up, I want to get them used. Oh, this is a nice color green. This darker one. I don't know. I'll use one of these. And this. Yeah, so that is my plan. Let me know what you think of my little pouch. That was an impromptu project. Something I wanted to work on this morning. And yeah, I'm liking it. I don't know what I'll use it for, but it doesn't really matter. I'll find something. All right, thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderfully blessed weekend, and I'll see you on Monday for my crafty chit chat and slow stitching, where we will start on my bigger needle book. Okay. And then on Thursdays, I'm always working on the Roxy Journal of Stitchery Volume 8. So you can come by on Thursday too and catch a slow stitching video. All right. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.